What's up, YouTube? It's the Hung Up Fisherman here. Today is June 4th. It's Saturday. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're heading to the lake. Today's lake of choice is Collins Lake. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I really enjoy this place. It's known as one of the best Northern California fisheries in general, but more specifically, trout. And today, that's what we're going after. We're going to try to do a little bit more than catching up on the logs, the rocks, and the bank, and see what we can do to put a few trout in the boat today. You know, one thing they really just don't tell you is how hard it really is to film while driving. One, in the state of California, they frown upon that. And two, how do you do it while maintaining situational awareness on the road and drinking something to keep you awake? Well, we're about to find out. Join me as we hit up Collins Lake today. Look forward to getting out on the water and hopefully catching something of some size. Thanks. Well, everyone, we've arrived at Collins Lake, and we're making that nice long drive down to the little store. Collins Lake is a beautiful, privately owned, well-maintained lake. They stock trout year-round, and the trout that they stock aren't little fingerlings. You're talking sometimes 2-3 pound trout coming out of, I believe, Lassen. So with that, let's get out on the water. See what we can do. Okay, so we made it out on the lake. The ramp was actually surprisingly not very busy at all. There's about 2 or 3 boats out on this lake. Now, Collins Lake is not a very big lake, I'll give you that. And it's overcasty, and it's really not known for being one of the places you take a ski boat and go skiing, just because of the fact that it's pretty small. I'll try to give you a couple shots as we go along, but today, as I said, we're going to be going after some trout. The conditions, I feel, are perfect for it. It's a little overcasty. The water temperature right now reads about 72 degrees, and Collins Lake is fairly full. Considering everything that's been going on in California, and specifically Northern California, I'd say that's pretty positive. They do a really good job here in this area of the state in water conservation and management, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to try a couple different things here this morning until we figure out really what the fish are looking for and what they want. And the first is going to be about a 1.5 inch split back silver and black Rapala. Shallow diving. I believe the fish are going to be somewhere between the 15 to 25 foot range today. I could be wrong. We'll find out. And then we're going to go with just a simple spoon about 24 inches back behind a flasher of some sort or a dodger. I haven't really decided which we're going to do. Once I decide that and get it all on and going, I will give you a description in the below, and we'll get out. Let's get some lines going, and let's see if we can catch some fish. I always like to let my reels and rods do the release for me. Sometimes when you let that line out a little too fast, the lures get a little caught up, and you end up having some issues down there. So I just kind of loosen the drag, and then when I get it out about as far as I want it, I'll go ahead and tighten it back up, and we'll get fishing. I'm out here today by myself. The GoPro, as you can imagine, isn't working. I'm looking really scruffy, by the way. I just now noticed that too. Probably time for a haircut and trim this beard up a little bit. But as soon as we get some action, I'll try to get some film on it, and we'll go from there. Later on in the video, we'll discuss some of my favorite parts of Collins Lake. some of the places I have historically caught a good amount of fish, and hopefully I can help you along your way and give you some points and some coordinates out here on the lake that hopefully you can do just as good. You know, I got to tell you something. I'm a little irritated right now. The reason there was a gap here in the video and the reason I'm back in the truck right now is because about 20 minutes out on the water, I realized pretty quickly that someone had actually stolen all my gas out of the boat. Now look, guys, I get it. You know, fuel prices are high. I understand that. And maybe the person taking the fuel really needed it. I mean, I don't know, but there's just one thing in the world I can't stand. It's a thief, and I don't know what else to say. So I ran up real quick and grabbed some fuel from the local gas station, and you can imagine anything out here next to a lake is not cheap. So, but we did it. We got some gas in the boat, and we're heading back out to Collins Lake. So round 2, let's try it. Let's see what we can do. Have a good day. We'll see you out on the water. Okay, we're back out on the water for the second time, and we're much later in the day than I really want to be at this point. We'll see what happens. You know, we'll give it a shot. It's almost 10 o'clock now. By the time I was able to get the boat off the water, go get some fuel, get back here, get the boat back in the water, which, you know, took a little bit of time. Here we are. The sun's starting to peek out just a little bit. It's later in the day, and it's actually starting to rain on me. So it's turning out to be a fairly interesting day out here on Collins Lake. So we're already marking a couple fish here, and you can see we're right around a little bit deeper than I thought. Most likely we're going to be having to use some sort of a weight, or perhaps even the downriggers we have on here. The fish are marking roughly about 40 feet, but we'll see if we can't do a couple passes and see if we can't draw them up to the top. Okay, it's a little later in the day, so obviously we got to try to do something a little bit different. And so what we are trying now is I've targeted groups of fish right around the 40-45 foot mark. And so as you can see right here somewheres, we've started to use the downriggers. So I go with Cannon Easy Trolls. They're cheap, they're easy to use, they're hand crank, but when you're only doing about 40 to 60 feet, it's really not that big of an issue. So we're going to give that a try for a little bit and see what we can get on that. Target that actual range where we're seeing the fish in, which is roughly between 35 and 50 feet. We'll see what happens, and hopefully we get something. And if not, well, maybe I can throw some more clips in of the last time we were out fishing. We'll see what happens.